I remember the first time I met Jevon. Yeah, I remember. Vaguely, for real, vaguely. I think it had to have been around 2013, 2014. I was a pup for real. Like, had no experience. I may have walked in maybe one show before I walked for him. And I remember the casting he had for the show he had at LCCC, right? And I came to the casting, and he was there, and Mia was there. And I was thinking back, I was terribly overdressed. Like, I had no idea what I needed to wear to a casting. So I just came in, in some church clothes for real. I came in some church clothes. And, I walked for him and Mia, and luckily they approved at the time. I was young and I was, ambitious. So they decided to take a chance on a young kid. And I've been with him ever since 2013, 2014. We've been locked in. Wow, that was terrible. Oh, you get that? Good, yeah, keep that.
Maybe exhibition.
Okay.
We'll see, but that's gonna be more streetwear.
Yeah.
So we gotta mix it up. Yeah.
So how many looks we got as far as like the show?
Oh man, I went over because we lose models.
Okay.
So I had 45, now I'm at 44.
Okay.
But we've added promo models into the equation, so we're looking at like 48 as a collective.
Oh wow, okay.
If you really want to get detailed, I dressed my in-laws and my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know I want them to look how I want them to look. So I'm looking at like dressing 60 people.
Okay.
So dressing wise, but looks for the show, I don't like to be negative, but we might end up having 42 solid models. Two might drop.
Okay.
Because when you're working with 40 people, that's a lot of like different schedules.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind that. That's why we overcast now.
Okay, absolutely. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I've learned to not do that anymore and just overcast models and just get extra pieces.
Absolutely. Okay.
Or design extra pieces because then I'll have the number that I want of models.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's an education, man. It's
It
crazy.
is. It's a master class.
It's nuts, man. It's
a
pretty
master
crazy.
class.
Yep.
So what we got? What you need me to? What you need me to fit? So this is the
So,
good stuff right here.
we'll have you trying a couple things.
Okay.
Just because men do move around a lot.
Okay.
So right now we moved. I'm gonna have you trying a suit because we're trying to see different things, a suit and a coat. Okay?
Okay.
The inspo is all Italian. It's basically the story of a black man or woman from Harlem or just black culture going to Italy and what they would wear.
Okay. No, for real. Okay, I like it.
So like it's a lot of images of like what I would wear or what I would think somebody traveling to Italy would wear.
Okay.
Last year was Harlem and jazz, so we're just building on that with the black culture of like travel now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Based off the Jordan 18 being designed solely inspired by Italian dress shoes and racing.
Okay.
So like we added that into it. So that's how I got the Italian inspo.
You look like
Man, here we go. You can photo that too.
That looks good on him.
Here we go.
It's gonna be some tough decisions, man.
Yeah.
Because that coral will look good on you too. So we'll see if I like it on the other guy.
So you making it in another color as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
doing coral right now.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is sharp.
Mm-hmm.
This is sharp. Yes, indeed. I get it.
I'm like, we gotta change this. I want this model to do this. So there was only a couple that posed weird.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? Let's just scratch the pose and catch it New York style, where they're just in motion. Yeah. So, because we do have a lot of new models from casting, which I don't want to put that on them. Like, you gotta stop 3 seconds. Like, that's a lot to know in a continuous flow.
Especially for a new model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're outside, and I told them, people are beeping their horns at you. They could be yelling at you. They could be cussing at you. They could be doing anything. So the environment is like uncharted for them. So I'm like, let's keep it simple, no pose.
Yeah.
And keep it in motion. So
I don't consider myself someone who has had a lot of mentors within fashion. I've been in it for a little bit over 12, 13 years. And I could say maybe on one hand how many people who have actually helped me, which is sad, but it's okay though. I don't really trip about it for real. But Jevon has definitely been someone who has been a constant in that. He's always been someone who I could, ask a question. He's never been a gatekeeper of information, whether it be a question about a show or whether I need to, use some clothes for a shoot, for styling. He's always been someone who's been extremely helpful in my journey, and I will always respect him and honor him for that. Because if it had not been for him, I probably would have never started having fashion shows, and I'm not too proud to say that. It's been his footprints who I've followed, and not emulated, but definitely respected in the highest regard. So yeah, he's definitely been someone I look to as a mentor. I don't know if he knows that, but he'll know now. And like I said, I'll always be there whenever he needs me to, do whatever as far as when it comes to fashion and modeling, for sure. I'll always be there. What's up, everybody? As you know, we're here back behind the scenes with my girl, Mariah. She's been modeling for a few years now, and I just wanted to come backstage and talk to her about her whole experience with, working with Jevon and how long she's been modeling. So, everybody, this is
Mariah Francis. I've been modeling actually since 2018, but this is my third show with Jevon, and I'm just really grateful for walking with him and everything. I did do a show in July in Cleveland, and I got to walk for him as well. So it's just a really great experience, working with him, because he's like the top dog, essentially.
For sure. He is one of the elite, fashion designers in Northwest Ohio. He's one of the first, designers that I've actually worked with myself. So I've always, stood by his side, and I vouch for him as being one of the best, designers that I've ever worked with. He's definitely in my top of the top. Mm-hmm. For those who may be watching who may not know what goes on behind the scenes at a show, what would be your experience with Jevon shows specifically backstage?
They're definitely organized. There's definitely food involved. Okay.
Hello
is right because we don't really get fed, but he feeds us, and it's very organized, and there's a list, and we all go according to the list, and I just really appreciate him and having this show in the first place, because I'm from Northeast Ohio, but it's just his name is really important in our community, especially in the modeling community in Ohio and everything.
Sure.
So it's very organized, very chill, not too crazy. He has different, sections off for the men and the women. It's just very classy. I do enjoy it.
I agree. I've been working with Jevon probably for a little over 10 years, and I could say, the organization being backstage and how organized it is and how calm and cool. A lot of, backstages are hectic and
Yeah.
drama filled.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Not at all.
It's never been that. It's always been a cool, chill atmosphere. He's cool. Mia's extra cool.
Yeah.
So I've always appreciated how professional it's been backstage at his shows. So segueing from that, I got a few questions for you personally as a model.
Oh boy.
All right. So my first question would be, what do you believe every runway model's walk should possess?
It should possess class. You have to have some type of class, confidence. You have to have some type of posture or poise. But mainly it's just confidence because
I agree.
you're showcasing someone's clothes or designs, and you have to find that niche or whatever, what sets you apart from other people, you know what I mean? So I'm going to definitely go with confidence in class.
Confidence and class. Those are two good ones. Confidence, class, two good ones. So good answer. I got another question for you.
Oh boy.
All right. So give me 3 of your favorite designers to walk for. Give me 3.
Jevon, clearly.
Clearly.
Obviously. That is a really good question because
It's a lot of names, but you got to give me 3.
that's just
You walk for a lot of designers.
CISO's. I
Okay.
love her.
Okay.
Sierra
Hicks.
Hicks is
Yep.
great. And who else have I walked for that?
You've walked for a lot of
I
designers.
know, but
Mariah.
it's just I've never sat down and actually
Thought about
was
it?
like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, is his name Mirendo?
Okay. Ivy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
He's
homie.
one of the best ones too.
That's
he's fire.
top
He's fire.
3.
Top
actually.
3.
Yeah.
Jevon, CISO's, and Mirendo.
Yeah.
That's an elite 3, y'all. That's an elite 3.
Yeah.
So last question, all right. Last question.
Okay.
All right. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who may be watching, who may want to be a model, what piece of advice would you give them?
Network. That's really important. I remember when I first started out, it was just hard for me to reach out to people. It was around Instagram when it was starting out and no
Right.
one wanted to help me. So I just branched off into Facebook and got into this networking, Ohio Fashion Beauty. And that really got me my foot in the door.
Right.
So you just got to network and be confident in having conversations with different people. So that's my advice.
Network
Networking.
new models. Network. So those are my questions for Mariah. If you need to reach her, how can they reach you?
On Instagram, it's Mariah, MARIAH _Francis, but it's FRANC, the number 3 S.
Y'all got all that?
I hope so.
All right, y'all. That's Mariah.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Peace. One thing that I admire about being in Jevon's shows and being a show producer myself is that how he's figured out the backstage chaos. You should be saluted for that, brother. Because those of us who really know how crazy it get backstage. And it don't be like that at your shows, bro. It really don't be like that. People be mad chill. You got your interns over here. You got your hair and makeup people over here. You got your photographer upstairs. Then you got media people coming in at certain times. You and Mia have definitely figured out a system that works. And I know it's taken time over the years, but it just seems to be seamless for you guys. You guys have figured out such a efficient way to run shows smoothly. And I think people really don't take that into account. The smoother your backstage is, the smoother your show runs, period. So I definitely commend you for figuring that out, and I'm going to have to holler at you about that for sure. For sure. man. Backstage, behind the scenes, Bridge the Gap 2. I got another backstage model interview with me. Let the people know what's your name.
My name Nas Bohannon, from the area, Lorain, Ohio, through and through.
All right, through Lorain, Ohio. Shout out to Lorain, Ohio. Jevon Terance from Lorain, Ohio. And I just wanted to get, behind the scenes interviews with a couple different models, get some answers, get some questions from them. So you walking for Jevon, what makes you come back? You said you walked 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago. Talk about your first experience with Jevon.
So my first experience with Jevon, I was actually a late add-on. So somebody dropped out, and I was in high school at the time. So my aunt was friends with Jevon, knew him since school.
Dope.
Made a call and was like, hey, are you willing to do it? Then I was a kid. I was me, confident, everything else, but the lights of it and everything else was kind of new to me.
Yeah.
So when I walked, I had, we did a model walk a couple days beforehand, but I actually walked. I'm like, I think I did good, but I don't really know.
Right.
Yeah, that experience, it made me excited after the fact because I liked everything that went into it.
Dope.
Yeah, I kind of was a nervous young kid at that time.
Where was the show at?
The show was at Lorain High at the time. So
Lorain,
it was actually at my high
in the
school.
gym?
In the gym.
I was in that show. I was in that show
Okay.
too. That was real dope. That was a real dope experience for him to have the show actually at his gym. I was fired. They had the bleachers open. That was a real fire show. I remember that show. Let me see. Let's get to this question. Let's get to these questions.
Got you.
Okay. Let me see. Let's go to this one. So, as a runway model, because you in the gang now, you in the frat now.
Yeah.
So, what do you believe each runway model walk should possess?
Confidence. I would say confidence in, what the kids say today, aura.
Aura.
If you confident in who you are when you walking, I think you can tell that in an everyday walk,
You can
not
see
just a runway walk. Yeah.
Dope. Confidence. That's every model has given confidence or swag. That's everyone. They said that. All right. So let's get to this one. Let's see. Who are your fashion model mentors, or someone you would aspire to be like in fashion or as a model? Is there someone you've looked at and be like, okay, I can maybe patent what I do after that person?
As a model,
Or in fashion, if there's a designer who you really like.
I like Ruigi. I like Ruigi.
Fire.
So I'm a basketball player.
Hooper.
So I fell in love with fashion through sports and through people doing tunnel fits and everything else. So once I found the brand Rude and the story behind Ruigi and the things that he did, I fell in love with his whole aesthetic and vibe.
Dope. All right, cool. Another one. If you could give a piece of advice to a model who may be watching, what would that advice be? For someone who may want to do this, what advice would you give them?
I'm gonna speak to people who may not have professional model experience like myself. Just come in, again, be confident, be yourself, and I'm not gonna say walk in like you own the place, but feel like you belong. Feel like in anything I do in life, I try not to let it wear me and wear that. So basically with the clothes or whatever you do,
For sure.
wear the clothes, wear the fit,
Exactly.
be you, be confident, have some swag,
Have some swag
aura,
about
and just do the thing.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So, last question. Is Jevon the only designer you've walked for? Or have you walked before in a show besides Jevon?
I've walked. I live in Germany now.
Okay.
I've been living in Germany. So I actually just walked in Germany this past winter.
Okay,
So
okay.
Only two.
Only two.
Jevon and up-and-coming designer in Germany.
What was that experience like in Germany, being in another country?
Oh, listen, it was a vibe. So that designer, he actually has a tie between streetwear, that skater vibe, and then he does some upper class things too, some high fashion things. And he did a whole art show / skate exhibit.
Fire.
So it was just the house music and it was under lights. And
Okay.
Dudes came on skateboards, so we're walking around in a party vibe.
Okay.
And it was really exciting. So
Dope.
being in Europe, you obviously get to see their sense of fashion and me traveling through there. So I'll actually have that designer's name and we talk a lot. So
Dope,
it was
dope.
a dope experience.
Dope. Well, you hear it here, man. You give them your name one more time if they want to contact
Oh
you.
yeah, my name Nas Bohannon. You can find out everything I do on NasBohannon.com, on Instagram. I'm at MB33. Facebook is Nas Bohannon.
Yes, sir. Bridge the gap too, y'all. We out. What's up, y'all? I'm here with my second model by the name of
Maria Janasco.
Maria Janasco. Now, she's been with Jevon for how long?
This will be my 5th year working with Jevon.
5th year. Yeah, that's quite some time. You've been in New York with him too, right?
No, not yet.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get you
I'm
to New York.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little newbie. I'm like, send me out there. Come
You
on.
weren't the OGs though, for real. I remember you from
Yeah,
quite some time.
I know.
You
COVID
definitely-
times.
No, for real.
where
COVID. That was
there's-
fun time.
Yeah,
That
no
was a
crowd
fun
at
time.
all.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing some behind the scenes stuff, just for people to see who may not know, watching the show, what goes on backstage.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to interview some models and different staff throughout the
Of
show.
course,
So
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, as far as shows go, what is it about Jevon shows that have you coming back each time?
So, like Jevon, I'm a Lorraine local, so I always want to give back to my city. I love that, he does a lot of local shows just to showcase his stuff to all of the community, so I love that. Jevon's just really awesome to work with. Everything's
agree.
easy, it's chill, it's not stressful, everybody's having a good time, it's
Yep.
fun.
Yeah.
And you get to wear cool clothes and get good pictures
Oh, for sure.
afterwards. It's all
For
good
sure.
things.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So let's get into these questions. All
Okay,
right,
I'm
let's
ready.
get to it.
I'm ready.
All right. So who are your fashion or model mentors?
Fashion or model mentors? I feel like a lot of my model mentors are the girls that I model with here. I've met so many friends just through modeling that I
Yeah.
would have never met otherwise, and I look up to a lot of the girls here. I feel like I'm definitely one of the younger ones here. I just think that, you learn from what you see, so I
Absolutely.
try to take little tips and tricks from watching them.
Yeah, awesome. Good answer. Good answer. All right. So another question. If you could give a piece of advice to someone who's watching who may be interested in modeling, what piece of advice would that be?
I think just always trust yourself and be confident. It's a whole different world in the fashion industry and modeling nowadays. It's not like how it used to be. So I think if you are confident enough to do it and it's something you're passionate about, I say go for it. Anything is possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, see, you're a natural actor. So you should be in this seat and I should be over there.
No, you're doing a great job. Keep going.
All right. Next question. What should every runway model walk possess?
Ooh, I think a little bit of swag, like
For sure.
maybe elegance too, but
Yeah.
swag for sure. I think if you put your little spin on it, and if you're confident within it, anything looks good. So
Yeah.
you gotta put your little swag on it. That's what makes you different from everybody else.
Swag. I think that's a universal answer when people are talking about runway walks. Confidence and
Yes.
swag is definitely right at the top. Right at the top.
It shows. It shows.
For sure,
So
for sure. And we know, as ones who've been on the runway for years,
Yeah.
so we can tell when a model has confidence and one who may not be as confident.
definitely.
All right. So it's another question.
Okay.
Give me 3 of your favorite designers to walk for.
Well, so I've only ever walked for Jevon, so he
Lucky?
takes 1, 2, and 3.
What? 1, 2,
He's my
and
favorite
3.
designer ever. I
know
wear
what?
Jevon all day, every day.
Jevon. You
1,
know,
2, 3.
Bridge the gap. Number 2.
Yes.
2025.
You already know.
Let me see. What's my last one? Oh, I think that might be all of them.
All of them?
That might be all of them.
We're done already?
No, we're not done. We're not done. So what are you expecting from this show?
I think just a lot of new things, new collection, new colors, new prints, new textures.
Yeah.
Maybe even some new people, new fans
Yeah, new
coming to the
faces.
brand. Yeah,
Yep.
new faces. So, I'm just really excited
Me
for
too.
what Bridge the Gap 2 has in store.
For sure. Well, those are all my questions for my girl. If they need to reach you, how do they get to holler at you?
Alrighty, well, my Instagram is my last name, Janasko, Janasko 9816. You can follow me on there. I'm on Facebook. I do have a small business down here on Broadway.
Hello.
So
Let's get to it.
We'll
Hello.
shout that out, Janasko Insurance Agency. If you need insurance, you can call me. Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, y'all know how to reach her. This is Bridge the Gap 2, y'all, behind the scenes. Peace.